All right, welcome to episode 10 of the Belt Chronicles. Today we're looking at the WCW 91 through 94. If you couldn't tell that by the thumbnail, we're looking at the WCW 91 through 94 that was made by Reggie Parks. This belt was made out of necessity because Ric Flair took the crumb rind to the WWF after Jim Herd would not give him his deposit back on his belt. When you won the belt, you had to put a deposit down on it so you didn't lose it. And he didn't want to give Flair his deposit back on that belt when he was asking Flair to drop it. So Flair said, "No, I'm just going to keep the belt," and it started appearing on WWF TV before Flair did. So, like I said, Reggie Parks made the original. It was on TV for 4 years, right? 91, 92, 93, and 94. 5 people held it: Sting, Luger, Vader, Ron Simmons, and Ric Flair. We do have, just getting into the specs here, we do have clamshell tooling around the plates. We do have 2x5 over here on the female end, which is correct. And we do have 2x8 on the male end. The property plate does belong there, but what I've seen some leather guys do, at least one of them in recent memory, and what some makers do, is they forget to do the tooling around this plate. So Ali Anas, when he made this belt for me from Altair Belts, forgot to do the tooling around the logo plate. I'm going to back out and show you from, was it Bash of the Beach 92? Or Great American Bash 92. One of the, it must have been Great American Bash. Sting versus Vader. Vader wins. And it was funny to me because one of the things that I saw when I was watching that match back is after the match, Sting's having to be helped up and helped out of the ring. And the person helping him up is Ole Anderson in a referee shirt. And it jogged my memory back to Clash of the Champions 1990 when Ole's the one chewing out Sting and kicking him out of the Horseman. So I thought that was hilarious that they decided to put Ole in a referee shirt and make Ole look compassionate. But go back to that pay-per-view, Bash at the Beach 1992 or Great American Bash 92. I'll put it up on the screen, whichever one it is. And they're in the back after the match, and Bischoff is in there getting, and so is Harley Race. Obviously, he's Vader's manager, and Vader's there, and you can see the property plate as Bischoff is getting comments from the greatest wrestler in the world, and yeah, Vader's there too. But you notice the property plate does have a piece snapped off, and you can see the tooling around that property plate. So that's one thing that stuck out to me. I wish Ali had done this on my replica, but didn't think to. So only one physical belt exists. What I mean by that is they had one for the duration of the time it was on TV. They never called Reggie and got another one. Unlike, Winged Eagles, Intercontinentals, and stuff like that, there was just one that was on TV. And it now is in the possession of Dave Milliken. And I happened to find a clip on Instagram of Dave Milliken talking to Conrad Thompson. It's on Conrad's Instagram. It's from a show I guess Conrad was doing called Title Chase. And one of the things Dave said in there is that the strap length is shorter than a typical Reggie belt. So typical Reggie belts are usually between like 50 and 52 inches long. This one, according to Dave, is 46. And I'll put the graphic up from their own video between Dave and Conrad saying that's 46 inches. And so mine, I just measured mine. That's why I have this tailor's tape over here. Mine measured 50 inches. So if you're trying to go for 100% TV accuracy, according to Dave Milliken, that is the route to go. And you can kind of cut corners and things like that because you can put these plates a little bit closer together. You could take this one 1/4 of an inch closer to the main plate. This has enough space. This one over here, you could probably get away with 1/8 of an inch. And I'll put another photo up of the property plate. You can see, according to that graphic, On the property plate, it literally, the tooling butts up to this clamshell tooling. There's no space in between here. So just little things, little tiny changes you'd have to make to pull all these dimensions in closer if you want to get closer to TV accuracy. Because obviously, if you were to, let's say, reduce the space in between the main plate and the two outer side plates by 1/4 of an inch, well, now you saved yourself 1/2 inch. And you do 1/8 of an inch on these two and pull them in 1/8 of an inch closer, that's 1/4 inch between those two plates, right? So now you've got 3/4 of an inch back on this strap. You sort of shorten this up, take out the space in between this property plate and the snap box, and snug this up a little bit. You might save another 1/4 of an inch, maybe close to 1/2 of an inch. And then you do the same thing down here, and you see what I mean. You could kind of shorten and shrink this belt down and condense it down. One other thing I wanted to bring to your attention. The belt tip. So, with this belt, it has a belt tip that says WCW Champion. And I have a photo of Vader where you could see it looks like a relief piece, just like this. See, the way Ali did mine, it's actually 2 pieces. There's the 1-piece tip, and then there's a relief piece that says WCW Champion. You can see that seam there where they meet. It's not all one piece, right? So that part he did correctly. What he did not do correctly, and what WWE Shop surprisingly did do correctly, is the length of this tip extends down to about the first row of snaps. And I'll put a photo up where you can see that on the replica, and you can also see that on the real belt. I'll put both photos up. But, so this tip is supposed to be somewhat longer, but what Ali got right over WWE Shop is they just, on WWE Shop's version, they just etched WCW Champion into the belt tip. At least with Ali did that as a relief piece, which to me looks closer. So obviously we're doing black backing here. This is standard run-of-the-mill black backing. And I think that's pretty much it as far as specs go, because there's not a whole lot. I mean, like I said, there's only one belt, so there's not a whole lot of variation with this, like there was with the Winged Eagle, because you had multiple different versions. Like I said, 2x8 on the male snaps, 2x5 on the female snaps. Clamshell tooling here around the plates. You can kind of condense everything to get it to 46 or 47 inches, to get it closer to the 46 that Milliken says it is. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys on this one. This one's going to be a brief one. Next episode, this episode 10, I want to say next episode is on the WWF tag belts. But if it's not, I'll put it right here on the screen of what it actually is going to be. But I'm pretty sure it's WWF tag belts. I'll see you guys on that video.